Now, I don't do gear reviews fairly often on this YouTube channel unless it's for something that really grabs my attention, something unique, something different. In recent years, we've definitely seen a good amount of progress or innovation when it comes to indie level filmmaking gear, but nothing quite like what I'm about to show you.
You ready?
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1, go. I think that was good.
Alright, so this right here is JibONE, a fully motorized jib system from Edelkrone that I believe is going to change the game entirely. So I actually used this jib yesterday to film that little skateboarding sequence that you just saw, and I gotta say, this thing right here is a lot of fun.
Keep going, and yep.
Now, of course, with more time and more practice, my shots with this thing are going to get a lot better. But so far, in just a few weeks of playing around with it, I'm already seriously impressed with how well this performs. Oh yeah, also real quick, please let me know down below what you thought of the 4:3 aspect ratio that I used for that little sequence. Thought I'd try out something different today, so just let me know if you thought it was cool or if you hated it and I should never do it again. But anyway, huge thanks to Edelkrone for sending this over and for sponsoring today's video. Back in September when I reviewed the Edelkrone Slider Plus, we had a giveaway for the slider which went to Thomas van der Vennet from Brussels. Congratulations, Tom. And this time around, we'll be giving away a JibONE to one of you guys, so feel free to turn on notifications if that's something you're interested in.
All right, camera rolling, and in 3, 2, 1, go. I think that's as good as it gets.
Now, Edelkrone products generally fall into the premium or fancy equipment category, which means they're not cheap, but they'll last you a long time and perform at a very high level. But the thing I love most about Edelkrone products is that they are modular, which means you could start simple with just one product and then add accessories and modules over time. Yeah! So to get started with JibONE, we're gonna wanna make sure we have it mounted on a nice steady tripod. We're going to loosen these two knobs to extend the jib, making sure to retighten the knobs once we've got our desired length. Next, we'll add the counterweights to the back portion of the jib and then balance it to the weight of our camera accordingly. And to my surprise, balancing this thing is actually a lot easier than balancing a gimbal because it's just one axis rather than 3. And now to start using the jib, we just simply pull out the locking pin and we're ready to get some dynamic shots. The jib's motors can be powered with a DC cable or a couple of Canon LPE6 batteries, and using the Edelkrone app, you can program in those smooth automated movements. So here are some of the shots you can get with the JibONE just on its own. You've got the standard up and down jib shot, and then you've got the 45-degree angle crane style shot, as well as horizontal slides. Now, of course, all of these movements can be pulled off with a top-down angle by simply rotating the camera's mounting plate. Now, on its own, the JibONE is already a very impressive piece of equipment, but where I think it really shines is when you pair it with the Edelkrone Head Plus. I happen to already have one of these from when I got my Edelkrone Slider Plus, so logically it also works perfectly with the JibONE. But it's very important to make sure that when we add the Head Plus to the JibONE, we also add counterweights to the other side in order to maintain proper balance. Now this right here is what I call a setup. So not only can we pull off the same jib movements as before, but now we can also program in a combination of pans and tilts, and this is the definition of dynamic camera movement. There's also the option of adding the focus module to the Head Plus if you're using manual lenses, and this will let you program in automatic focus pulls in your shot. I actually talk about the focus module a bit more in my Slider Plus review, which you can check out in the description below. Now, one feature of the JibONE that I'm really excited to experiment with is stop motions. You can connect your camera to the Head Plus or the JibONE using a shutter cable, and in the Edelkrone app, like you normally would, you can set start and end points like a regular video. And once we enter stop motion mode, we can set our shutter speed, our final clip length, the frame rate, and the app will automatically calculate how many frames we'll need for our stop motion clip. While recording our stop motion, we can follow the app's directions and remotely trigger the camera to take images without actually having to touch the camera itself. And once we're done capturing all of our frames, we end up with a nice dynamic stop motion that looks like this. Now overall, I'm flat out blown away by how easy this was to use out of the box. When I first opened the package, I actually thought I was gonna have to book off a whole weekend just to learn how to set this up, but nope, that wasn't the case. Within 10 minutes, I had it up and running. Super intuitive. But that is it for this little overview of the Edelkrone JibONE. Don't forget, we're giving one of these away, so feel free to turn on notifications if that's something you're interested in, and I will see you guys in the next video.